first thing I want you to remember is the last thing I want you to remember. And that is, you don't have to do what people tell you to do. And therein we start. So the pandemic comes, yes, from China, all right? And if you look at what they've done to us, I think it's quite clear of the impact that this virus has had on the United States of America. The impact of this virus has been economic, it has been financial, political, physical, emotional. It is across the board. It has affected every aspect of our lives. And it has taken from Donald Trump the crown jewel of his 4 years. And that crown jewel was an economy, the best economy that the United States of America had ever seen, without a doubt. And don't let anyone ever tell you that's not true. And the only way to make people question Donald Trump was to take away the crown jewel. Now, I'm not saying that it was necessarily intentional, but what I am saying is that what has happened as a result has been destructive. It has destroyed America's economy. Will there be a tomorrow? Absolutely. We are Americans. We are born of a revolution. It is in our DNA. It is who we are. And they will never stop us. Never. Now, I want you to remember that it is emotional bullying that they have used against us. If you don't buy into every component of this, then you are killing grandma. You are someone who doesn't care about other people. That is emotional, guilt-laced bullying, and it has no place in our lives. So don't bully me, and don't tell me that I don't care about other people, all right? And let's talk about how this started. So there's this guy, and his name is Neil Ferguson. He's from the United Kingdom. He creates all these models. I talked about him in my book, in my last book, Don't Lie to Me. Neil Ferguson decides that there's a real problem in the UK, I don't remember, 10 or 15 years ago. If you're so young, I'm looking at all of you, you're so young. All right, but there's something called mad cow's disease, right? So they were afraid that all of the cows, all of the beef, all of the sheep had a disease. We couldn't eat any of the carnivores couldn't eat any meat. So what did they start doing? They started massacring cows and sheep and herds, literally massacring them. And then it was determined that Neil Ferguson was wrong. Gee, I'm sorry about all of your herd. I'm sorry that you lost your financial support. I'm sorry about that. But Neil Ferguson doesn't drift into the past. Neil Ferguson ends up giving a model to the United States to tell us how this pandemic is going to affect us. That 2.5 million Americans are going to die, and that we need to shut everything down right away. And so the president, when he is confronted with this, makes a decision that he doesn't want to make. He knows what the impact is going to be, but he shuts down the economy. He shuts down the economy, even though there are whispers that when you shut down the economy, then there's going to be all these concomitant problems that people aren't talking about, like suicide, depression, domestic violence, child abuse, drug addiction, alcoholism, which is so much easier in a pandemic because you know you can buy booze and weed, but forget about ever going to work, forget about going to the gym, but I'm jumping a little bit here. Let's talk about what we all did. We all sheltered in place. We all wore a mask. We all washed our hands. We knew what we had to do. I was the first person to have Jerome Adams, the Surgeon General of the United States, on my show Justice, okay? So the Surgeon General comes on my show and he says, nope, you don't need a mask. And then 2 weeks later, yep, you need a mask. Okay, all right, this is new, maybe they don't know yet. And then it goes on from there. The contradictions, the fact that people just couldn't agree as to what we needed to do. Then I remember it was Fauci who said, give up shaking hands forever. Forget about shaking hands. And then someone said, he said, that'll be gone from cultures forever. And then he said, but it's okay if you meet somebody on Tinder. Go ahead, you can go meet them. I'm like, is he stupid or is it me? So, yeah, maybe it was me, I don't know. But so we were like children. We quietly did what we were told, and we were waiting to be let out of this imposed shelter in place. But then what happened was, we waited until the curve flattened. What was the whole point of it? The whole point of it was, you know what? We have to make sure that there's room in the hospitals so that when people get the virus, we can take care of them. Okay, you said it, I didn't. And so what does the president do? Because the liberal governors on the East Coast and the West Coast, I call them the commas. The United States is in the center of the commas. But so the liberal, it's the heartland, it's America. The East, and I'm from New York. But anyway, so they get panicked. So what does the president do? He brings in the mercy and the comfort, these naval ships, and he prepares them for everyone who's got the coronavirus, and they are literally empty. Maybe 20 patients, maybe, empty for months. And then they bring them back to, I don't know, Norfolk, Virginia, or wherever they came from. So all of this nonsense, we flattened the curve. We didn't need the naval ships as hospitals. We were all good. But no. The totalitarian instinct runs very strong in liberal governors. And their pathetic flexing of their muscles in order to keep us in place was evidenced across America. Now, I took a few down this morning. These are power-hungry governors. Although the president made the decision to shut down the economy, he left it up to the governors on how to reopen, which was the right decision as far as I'm concerned. So you've got Gretchen Whitmer from Michigan. Woo! So Gretchen Whitmer, she decides that because, you may know, but not everybody knows, that because 6 counties have a problem, she's going to shut down all 83 counties in her state, all right? And she says, you know what? You can buy booze and you can buy weed, but don't you dare buy plant seed. I'm not allowing anyone to buy plant seed or paint. Wait a minute. If I'm going to Home Depot, if I'm in this aisle, what the hell difference does it make to you if I go over to this aisle and get something else? As long as I'm 6 feet away and I have a mask. Forget her. Forget that woman. All right. Now, but I want you to think about the bigger issue. And here's the issue. You know, when we step back from it, you learn a little bit. My problem is I have to keep talking through all of it and just hope I get it right. But it was the big box companies that could survive. Middle America was crushed. Small businesses were crushed so that you can get Target and you can get Walmart, and you can get the big stores to sell you ice cream. But you can't go to the ice cream parlor in your town. You can buy eyeglasses at Walmart, but you can't go to the optician who sells eyeglasses in your town. It was about protecting big business and crushing middle American economy. And it continues to this day. So, in addition to Whitmer, let me go through this. You had a Democratic governor from Louisiana. Woo! I don't know what he's doing in Louisiana, but that's not my business. John Bell Edwards, he says, you can't gather at a religious place that they then ticketed pastors. And a pastor, he got what? He is a hypocrite. All right, thank you. So the pastor comes out and the pastor says, are you kidding me? My church is cleaner than Walmart and the gas stations that people can go to. I go, good for him. All right, then you have the Democrat governor from Kentucky who bans all gatherings at churches. Places of worship were singled out as parishioners actually met in the parking lot listening in their car radio on Easter Sunday. These bozos forget the First Amendment and the right to religious liberty. They want to get rid of it. And the same in Wisconsin, and the same in New York, and the same in California. And I got the best one for you is the governor in New York, Cuomo. This guy mandates that COVID-infected patients be returned to nursing homes and long-term care facilities, who then infect the other people there, and upwards of 12,000 people died because of Andrew Cuomo's mandate. So as people dying, they were dying in these nursing homes, family couldn't visit, and family couldn't go to a funeral. It was the most gut-wrenching part of all of this. And the mayor in New York City, de Blasio, who's a dumber bozo than Cuomo, he is targeting Jewish funerals. Don't you dare get together for a Jewish funeral. It is a devolution. It is a destruction, or an attempted destruction of the First Amendment. And that you will see across the board whenever there's a pandemic. And the important thing for you to remember is that government has a place in your life, but government cannot control your life. Government cannot tell you what to say, when to say it, how to say it, and where to say it. Government cannot tell you if you can go to church, or how many of you can go to church, or whether you can respect God. Government does not have that right. Those rights are natural rights. We get them from God. The government doesn't give us those rights. And don't you ever forget that, ever.
Hey everybody, this is Charlie Kirk, founder and CEO of Turning Point USA. If you liked this video, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Turning Point USA.